All right, the National Marine Sanctuary designation from Mallows Bay will likely mean a tremendous boost to tourism in this county. Is this a good thing or a bad thing, and do you support it?
First speaking will be Peter Murphy.
Thank you. We absolutely support it. The Board of County Commissioners came out early in support of NOAA's efforts to designate Mallows Bay as a National Marine Sanctuary. Be very clear about this. This was initiated from NOAA. It did not come initially from the Board of County Commissioners. But when that opportunity came our way, that we could have a National Marine Sanctuary in Charles County, will be the first one in 17 years in the United States. I want you to know that our emails and our phones ran off the hook from people all over the world, excited about the possibility of that. So yes, we've supported NOAA all the way through this process because of what it will bring to Charles County. And it does have tremendous potential for economic development in our area as well. We talk a lot, people talk a lot about economic development and bringing businesses and so forth to Charles County, and we've done our part to bring them. But in addition to that, there's tourism. It's an area that has been overlooked for decades in Charles County. What we did when we first got into office, we created a new department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism because we see that as a major economic driver here in Charles County. We're only an hour away from the nation's capital. In fact, in the Smithsonian Institution magazine, they advertise Mallows Bay. They encourage people to come to Charles County. So it's an excellent idea. We have a good relationship. We've been working with NOAA for this. NOAA started this 5 years ago. We've been working very closely with them and with the governor's office as well. We have a great relationship with the governor because it will rest with him eventually as to whether or not approves this. But we're very much in favor of this. We're also working with the Nanjemoy Volunteer Fire Department to give them the equipment they need to make sure that people are safe as they visit that park. And also, our tourism department is working very closely to be able to really promote that park. So not only will it put us on the map in that area, but it will certainly boost some of the, in terms of dollars coming into the county, and we certainly look to see how it will help Indian Head as well. So I absolutely support the Mallows Bay effort. I'm very happy that we finally got everybody on board to support the alternative that is now before, well, actually is out now, will be coming before the governor. So yes, I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Next speaking is Reuben Collins.
The county initiated approval on Mallows Bay during my second term as a county commissioner. It was part of many initiatives during that period. The county addressed to increase opportunities for tourism. So I'm absolutely in support of it. But I would only add that in addition to showing initial support for any tourism projects, it's the responsibility of the board to also recognize that you must put in place the amenities that allow those that would be appreciative of these opportunities to have that opportunity to enjoy a Mallows Bay or other wonderful places within our community. Too often we seem to fall short by providing those opportunities that create economic development opportunities across the board. So yes, I'm in total support of the continued development of Mallows Bay, but I would only encourage as we move forward that we also recognize that merely putting out the project is only one part of the actual program itself.
Brian Claus will now answer this question.
I was a very early supporter of Mallows Bay, the designation as a National Marine Sanctuary, and I still am. But there's been a lot that's happened with Mallows Bay in the last 3 years. Back in 2015, when the chamber sent its letter of support, we had almost unanimous support for the designation at the original 18 square miles. And what we were trying to do was we were trying to have this designation ready to go for the 100-year anniversary of World War I. But something changed. The designation was enlarged. There were different alternatives. Our county went ahead and passed a resolution enlarging the Mallows Bay designation. In my role with the Chamber's Military Alliance Council, the military installations came to us, and they said, why are we allowing our installation to be put at risk by enlarging the designation? We have active ranges. We weren't consulted, so we used our relationships, and we actually brought Lieutenant Governor Rutherford down, put him on a boat with the commanders from the installations, and took him for a ride, and allowed the base commanders to explain to them what the mission of the installations were and what the enlarged designation would do. And I am proud to say that a few weeks later, there was another resolution passed by our commissioners, reducing that back to the original 18 square miles. We'd already had the designation right now if we would have just stuck to the designation that was originally proposed. I'm a strong proponent of it. There's many stakeholders that have concerns, and it's my belief that with us bringing the designation back to the original 18 square miles, we'll see that very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Last answering this question is Henry Thompson.
As far as that Mallows Bay proposal goes from NOAA, I support the idea of promoting tourism and the other benefits we would get from sales of items and things that can go along with that area. The only problem is, what are we going to do about that zone around there? Everybody's always talked about the Indian Head Navy base, but don't forget we have Stump Neck. Across the river on the other side of Virginia, we have Quantico and some other bases over there. We really don't want that zone that large. That zone has to be made smaller in that area that encompasses around that Mallows Bay designation. That zone has to be smaller in order for our military bases to not be put at risk. Don't forget, it's an irritation to many military bases, not just Indian Head. So Stump Neck's included, Dahlgren's included, and so forth. So we need to be very careful about how big that designation is on that Mallows Bay